Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to the Suit Up Geek Fix podcast. Guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to spread the love, spread that holiday spirit, give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Today, we are holding a spoiler review. Spoiler of the Eye of the World. The Wheel of Time finale dropped last Friday, and we've been doing these every single week. I've been lucky enough to have my guy Christian at Music City Nerd on Twitter. He is the host of the Film Optics podcast to help me break down these shows. And man, it has been a blast. What's up, Christian? What's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? It's here. We're here. It's the finale. It's a lot of fun.
We made it.
Right? We made it. We're here. We're here. Oh my gosh! Like it's crazy to think about. Thank you again for having me on. I'm very, very excited to be here. And yeah, I mean, it's the end of the road, at least for season 1. And I'm just very excited to kind of dive in and, talk about our trials and tribulations throughout this. It's crazy because, like, I don't know. I knew it was out and I put it off for a few days while watch it. And I was like, okay, I can probably watch it today because I was being a bum for the past few days. Christmas, everyone's in holiday mode, and the fun has not stopped yet because we still have New Year's to kick off. But yeah, I'm just really excited to be here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the heck out of you, man. Thank you so much. The journey has been fun. I say we just jump right into our top takeaways. After that, we'll grade the episode, the finale, and then we'll kind of grade. We'll put a bow and a ribbon and wrap the season and grade it overall. So really, like, the Battle of Helm's Deep was back this week. That was really what was going on.
That was no Battle of Helm's Deep. That wasn't even the long night from Game of Thrones. That was just this. I don't know what it was, but
the Battle of Helm's Low. It was not deep.
The Battle of Disappointment is more like it. But
yeah. But let's get into just general impressions. And let me just start off saying that I think this show is on the edge of something really amazing moving forward. I really, really enjoyed the show overall, which we'll deep dive into later. But I got to call it as it is, Christian. Like, I thought the writing, I thought the pacing just felt really rushed here in this finale. I don't like the last 2 episodes where they're presenting this Rand, Perrin, and Egwene love triangle. Personally, I hate love triangles. I hate them, Christian. And that's largely, like, unnecessary for most of these kind of things. I don't like that at all. So I just thought there were so many kind of missed opportunities. I would have loved to learn more about the Dark One. I would have loved to learn, what his motive was, what he wants, what he's trying to get out of this whole thing, because we literally start the episode 3,000 years ago and it looks like Wakanda. Like, it looks amazing. I want to live there. And sure enough, we don't get anything about the Dark One. We don't get anything more about what happened 3,000 years ago, other than we're now living in this dark age. For me, the most interesting part about season 1 was that mystery, trying to find out who is the Dragon Reborn. I think that was like the primary question of this entire series. And this finale should have been about delivering the answer to that question, but more in dramatic fashion. I thought last episode we had it was there in the last few minutes. Here, instead, we get this anticlimactic CGI fest where the answer to the question that we've been talking about and doing power rankings to, it literally is an afterthought in this entire finale. And I thought it was very underwhelming. It was very disappointing. It just really felt flat. There was no sense of grand purpose. There was really no closure at all, including setting up the second season. And I thought you kind of, there were no real wins. There were no real losses. With all the tension that they were building up 7 episodes into this thing, I just expected something more. Again, it's a great show. The landing, they just did not stick that landing for me. There are so many more questions than answers heading into season 2, and that's not necessarily where I wanted to go, even though we know there are so many books and there's so much lore and there's so many places to go with these characters. And I'm excited. I'm all in with these characters. It just fell flat. What about you, man?
Well, I hate to give this the sad trombone, but it was just not. It wasn't. I agree with what you were saying. It was very rushed. They tried to kill off one of my favorite characters. I dare them to try to do that again. You know what I'm talking about. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I was like,
Yeah. What, Perrin, right?
no, not Perrin.
Okay, I'm just
No, he can
Perrin's
go
the worst.
somewhere. He can go somewhere.
Yeah.
But like, it's. I mean, with Perrin, like he's sulking again, and
It
I'm
was.
like,
There's nothing.
he
You
does
could
nothing
literally
this
write
entire
Perrin off.
season.
What's that?
He does like nothing this entire season.
No,
Besides
it's
kill his
way-
own wife. That's
Yeah.
what he does. Like
He's-
that's his arc. But
No,
I agree. It felt very rushed, very anticlimactic. Like it's not the Battle of Helm's Deep. Like I said, it's the Battle of Disappointment. Whew. I mean, it's not the worst, but everything just felt like okay, like well, we're finally here. Like let's go, and it's like well. What's going on? Like, okay, we know who the Dragon Reborn is, and I didn't really feel much for this episode besides them trying to kill off my woman. Because
yeah.
I was like, excuse me, you're not gonna kill off Nimue like that. There's no way. No.
She does not deserve any of this, man. Like I'm excited for her, moving forward. Of course, Rosamund Pike is terrific, but
Oh yeah.
she's been a highlight, but she gets banished from the White Tower. She now has to return to the other three kids with the news that Rand did not make it back. And we also learn that she's just completely full of shit. She's supposed to be this all-knowing Gandalf character. What happened here, Christian? I thought if you weren't the Dragon Reborn heading into this thing, they literally have built it up since like episode 3 or 4 that you're not going to make it back. They all live.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I'm like, oh, so he's using the talisman thing. I'm like, oh, so is he done? Like, is that it? Like, and then he's like, oh, don't tell them where I went. Tell them that I didn't make it. And then he just leaves. I'm like, bro, where are you going? Like, what is there else to do? But apparently they all like, obviously we know who the Dragon Reborn is, but apparently they all have a big part to play.
Yeah.
And oh man, it just wasn't. I was actually looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And I was checking the runtime. I'm like, oh, it's like 56 minutes. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. But like every other episode we've gotten, it's like over an hour, like hour 10, hour 2, not 10, but hour like 2-3 minutes. And then this one's like 54 minutes long. I was like,
yeah.
Oh no.
I definitely got flashbacks of Game of Thrones season 8 with this episode.
Season 8 was not that bad, but yes, I will say it felt rushed. This felt more rushed. This felt more rushed than Game of Thrones season 8, in my personal opinion.
I actually that's what's so crazy about this. Like when this show's going like full Trolloc, you never go full Trolloc. When you go full Trolloc, the show just sputters. But when the slow down moments, when the characters get to breathe, this show just shines. I thought that like the best episodes of this show have been the ones where there's really no action at all. It's just mainly dialogue, and we're deep diving into this amazing lore. They're not holding your hand with it, but I loved it. There were so many parts of this finale where I was lost, like the dark one.
I was very lost.
Like the dark one. Like there are so many like questions going into this. Who is the dark one? Why is he still living?
I don't know.
Why did he just kill Moraine? Why did he just kill Moraine and just not have to deal with this person anymore? I was very confused about and then you get to Rand, who just decides to like mope and leave Moraine. Why the hell? The entire point of this show was for Moraine to like have Rand or the Dragon Reborn lead them and take down the Dark One. Why would Moraine just let him walk away? I was just like,
she's like, where are you going? And he's like, I'll see you around. I'm like, what are you Batmaning it right now? Like you're just gonna dip and leave? Like
no, it made no sense. No, like the Dark One was the friends we made. Yeah. I feel like this is the finale that we just can't speak his name. We just cannot talk about this finale. Because
Dark One, I was like, he looked like he was like in some kind of like random like kimono butler type thing. I'm like, I don't believe you. Like it would have been better. I think it would have been better if it was like a disembodied voice kind of like how Sauron is. But I'm like, he doesn't look menacing. He's just like, oh yeah, like that's the Dark One. And we're just supposed to know that. And I was like, cool. So like, what now? I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't do it for me, unfortunately. Kind of.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of steps.
By the way, please go subscribe to Tyler's YouTube channel. Please, please. Amazing content. Thanks for joining, Tyler. I like the idea of Rand like refusing to go to the dark side because of his love for Egwene. I like that concept. It just wasn't effective to me. Like I wish when I say like Game of Thrones,
beautiful mountainside, by the way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm all in for season 8 Rand, where he's like heading into, or sorry, season 2 Rand, where he's heading into like the Misty Mountains or something along those lines, and it's going to be
living in the Misty Mountains.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But like, I just wish Moraine and Rand's journey was a little bit longer. Like, they're literally out. What is it called? The Blight. They're in and out, literally within like 5 minutes, and it's gone. Like, it's like nothing.
So, nothing happened. Like, there was no consequences. Like, everyone survived. Everybody.
Yeah.
Matt left, and then
he comes back. And he's like more brooding than ever. He's going back to Tar Valon.
The only person who died, well, the ogre died, R.I.P.
Yeah, what the hell was that? I like that character. He was cool.
Just kill off the best character. That's fine. Like, and then Egwene.
Yeah.
What
happened there was like, I think the entire purpose was to kind of show that Egwene has, you know, she is, you know, Aes Sedai. She has healing powers because what happens is Nynaeve saves Egwene and then, you know, dies and gets burned up. Like, it was kind of cool to see them being the last two standing, following that channeling. It was kind of neat to see, like, they're all channeling for that one girl. I don't know what her name was, but you see kind of her just like become obsessive about her power. Like, she can see everything, and she becomes corrupted literally within seconds. And then the last one standing is Nynaeve and Egwene, and then sure enough, Egwene saves Nynaeve. I think that was kind of nice. But I want to see what the Dragon Reborn is, man. I want to see, you know, we already saw Logain, and he had amazing powers, and we already saw Nynaeve like you know, kick shit and do
like
amazing
stuff. She's had like those those Ciri moments, like in Witcher season 1 and in season 2. And it's just, I'm like, I was so mad. I was so mad, guys. I'm like, y'all are not gonna kill off Nynaeve like this. No, you're not.
No.
Like, I know this isn't real. And then they like came, was like, oh, just kidding, you know. But like, because they can heal each other, even though they're not Aes Sedai. They have the one power, so they can channel. So they can essentially heal each other. And I was like, well, I didn't know that meant bringing someone back from the dead.
Yeah. Tyler goes, I want to know what happened with that random guy they saw in the Blight. That was like the truly, that's why I say season 8 Game of Thrones is like, it needed like 3 or 4 more episodes. Like, I needed more. They could have easily, context. Yeah. It just, there's like, if there's anything that won from this show, it's that I am really wanting to read the books. Like, that's a fact. I definitely have bought into the Wheel of Time and all that kind of stuff, but like the finale makes me like want to like Google something or read something. I'm not going to do it. We're only TV viewers here, but let's get into let's go into the Dark One. We get it revealed. Was that the Dark One? That was the Dark One, right?
The guy with like the kimono butler type thing going on. That was him.
We're 100% certain like that was the Dark One. That's not some.
I'm like
channeler. I'm confused.
Like 95% sure. No, I'm like 80% sure because I really don't know. I think it was him. He said it was him, but it's like, I mean, we finally get the Torix or the Turlocks, whatever the hell their names are. Again, you know, looking like PS2 graphics more than ever. It's cool. It was, I don't know, like they tried to build up this whole battle at the same time, and I'm like, well, you're trying to build up this big battle and trying to focus on the Dragon Reborn at the same time, and I'm like, well, I feel like you should have focused on the Dragon Reborn instead of the battle.
Yes, no question.
Or at least they should have made it 10 episodes this season.
Yes.
Like this could have been like the episode. They could have focused on the battle this episode, and then the last two would have been focusing more on the Dragon Reborn. But I guess I was told by the angry.
Yeah. Like apparently a lot of the book readers are not happy about this.
Oh, whatever. Witcher season 2 fans are not happy either. The book readers. I'm like,
you never make everybody happy. That's just
exactly. I'm like, listen, just because it's an adaptation, you need to understand that. And whether that be big changes or small changes, it's not going to be one-to-one like the books. Even with Harry Potter, like there was a lot of stuff they took out of those out of the films, like that were from the books, like, and they still ended up great because sometimes there's some adaptations that happen in the shows that are actually better than in the books, and it happens in Game of Thrones as well, like so many times. And it's fixing characters where it's like, well, you know, this may not transfer well from book to screen. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, if people are upset, that's fine, but it's like, if I wanted to know the story of the books, I would just go read the books.
Yeah. Totally.
So
I just thought the finale just dropped the ball. Like everything was building about making Rand this amazing badass Dragon Reborn character. We didn't learn anything about it. Mm-hmm. They introduced the Dark One and what it was like 3,000 years ago, prior to, you know, everything, the devastation and going back to the Dark Ages. We didn't get anything. Like I have more questions than ever with this show, and I'm still, like I said again. Overall, I've enjoyed the show thoroughly. Overall, I am 100% in for season 2. But I just think from top to bottom, like this finale was a failure.
Yeah,
and I just think the foundation of this show, the writing was bad, the pacing was bad. You know, they tried way too hard with this finale, where it could have been easily just give us Rand, give us Moiraine, and let's see like Rand go ham. Somehow, so it didn't happen. All Rand does is just walk away.
Exactly, and then we got Wheel of Time gatekeepers out here telling Tyler not to read the books if he enjoyed this show, and I'm like, that's so crazy.
I don't like that. I don't like. There's a little. It's becoming divisive here. It felt like they ran out of money for visual effects. I mean, it was actually better than early this season, I thought. Like
the middle of everything, like the beginning was a little rocky, and then the ending was rush, but like everything in the middle of the sandwich was like really, really good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then it's like nobody dies, nothing happens.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if they like destroyed the Dark One or like contained him elsewhere, or he's
been living this whole time. Like what?
I don't know.
I don't know. Tyler said they ran out of money for visual effects. It could be. Or it went all into this episode, because even some of the visual effects where the Trollocs are like running through the woods. When there's a scene where Perrin and I think Egwene were dealing with some wolves, god awful. And here
were they? I could barely see it. So.
It's conveniently during nighttime. You know, another Game of Thrones pun.
Okay, I will say I saw the Battle of Winterfell, the long nights. It was showing fine up. I don't know what other TV people have out there. I saw everything clear as day. I actually think it was if you had like an OLED screen or like a liquid LCD screen, you're able to see things better when it came to that. But like if you're just watching on like a standard like HD, like random, I don't know, Toshiba or Vizio TV from like Walmart, it was like your screen was just black. I mean, which sucks because it's like it with Game of Thrones and with this, it's like, I mean, I was able to see it, but even so, there were a few. They always cover
100%.
They do. No. We see it in Wonder Woman 84. It's like trying to hide Cheetah.
Here in this finale is supposed to be like 10,000 Trollocs, 10,000 orcs storming the.
I saw like
Helm's
10
Deep
or 12.
Yeah.
you can see there's something moving behind them, but it's like
that's bullshit. I call bullshit on that one. There's no way that's 10,000 orcs.
They always
no way.
CG.
But anyway,
it's funny because it's true.
And then we get, to kind of like finish this before we head into our overall thoughts on the season. We get the kind of like the post-credit scene, essentially, which is kind of setting up season 2 here, which is, I guess the new big bad for season 2. It's a bunch of boats. And it is referenced, I think, when Moiraine was at the White Tower. There was a reference of this, and there's a little girl playing in the sand, and she looks up, and there's just a whole Navy fleet of boats with a giant tsunami heading towards her. And I was just like,
what is that?
Why?
Like, all right, well, that little girl is definitely alive.
I know.
Get out alive.
Like, why?
Bury yourself in the sand.
There's no like kingdoms. There's no villages. There's no people.
I don't even know who they are.
No one. I don't know either. And
they look like the Sun Warriors from Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what they look like.
They made a massive wave just to kill that one.
Exactly. She was looking up that wave. I was like, yeah, she ain't making it out.
No. All right. So
that's what they spent all the CGI effects on. It was that last scene right there.
Like it's like literally like a mountain. Like there's like a beach and then mountains. Like
why would you small little wave just like whoosh. I was like, woo. It looked great. That's definitely where it went towards.
Not what I was hoping for the finale for sure. How would you grade the finale, man? Out of 10.
I would give this like like a 4.5 out of 10. It just wasn't all that good, and they built up to something pretty good. Like it's not like like a must tune in, but like for us, for people who have been watching. A little girl at a surfboard.
Sorry,
Rocky Tower, my guy.
Sorry, Tyler. She's not making this one.
Cowabunga. But it's just very it was pretty it was just a mess. Like it was just a massive disappointment, and everything just felt super rushed. So I'd probably give this like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Probably. It didn't feel like the same journey that we were before. And then like Rand had that like dream. I'm like, the dream thing was kind of cool for like a second, because the dream sequences are always cool to me, at least. And then I just didn't feel anything afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are these, these people on the boat with the post-credit scene? Rand just leaves and he's like, just tell them I didn't make it. And I'm like, well, I guess you have to carry out and she can't lie. So he says, oh, Rand's gone. Gone. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gone. Like everyone says, Captain America, is he alive or dead? I don't know. He's gone. He's just gone. He's not dead. He's not alive. He's just gone. What does that mean? I don't know. He's gone. So it was just pretty. It was just a major letdown, because I finished up Witcher season 2. I was pretty much riding off a high of that. I'm like, all right, I finally get to sit down and watch the season finale, Wheel of Time, and it didn't hold me all that much, and the pacing was all over the place. They were just trying to do too much within like a 56-minute thing. It should have just focused more on the Dragon Reborn,
yes,
and close it out that way, because this entire time it's like, oh, like one of you is gonna die, like for certain one of you is gonna die, and I'm like, you're fine. Like you held up a totem and you destroyed him. Exactly. I'm gonna need exactly what Tyler said.
He's the worst character, man. I'm sorry.
He really is. I'm like, is he a wolf man? Like, what's going on here? I don't know.
He just stands around and mopes. That's
what Ciri does in Witcher season 1. She's literally just running through a field like the entire time with these crazy, weird blonde eyebrows. And I was like, what is going on? They finally fixed that. Ciri's actually doing things in season 2. And Perrin needs to start doing stuff in season 2, Will of Time. Because he literally just stands around. He's like, what are we going to do? I don't know. And it's just like, he clearly has a crush on not Nynaeve, but
Egwene.
Even though he like slaughtered his wife. But like that wasn't like an accidental, that was like a full frontal attack. Like he was at the ready. Like, now's my chance. You can make it look like an accident as much as possible. I was like, yo, you literally just like slaughtered, like split your wife in two, essentially. I was like, I felt that, man. Whew, I felt that.
And just kind of piggyback off everything you said, and I agree wholeheartedly. You know, the meat and potatoes of the show, the best of the best of the show was in that middle area, and they were building that. They had really, truly, what episodes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 straight episodes I thought were great, and it just really. Perrin is now single, ladies. Tyler's on fire right now.
Don't get on his bad side. Don't let a Trolloc into your house. He might mistake you for one.
I'll give it a 5. I think a 5 is really fair.
Yeah, it was okay, but not good. Like
this is like the exhibit A of a show that needs to start trimming some fat, you know, and you know, really give us. You know, the bread and butter of the show is Moiraine and Rand. The bread and butter of the show is Nynaeve and Lan. I want more of those, you know, storylines. And Moiraine and Rand and Lan. Wow, that rhymes. But I think that is the beauty of this show. So I hope that, you know, we'll see where season 2 goes, because we don't really know where you know, these characters are headed. Other than the Misty Mountains, you know, Mordor, of course.
I'm telling you, man, that beautiful sequence, that dream sequence, I was like, yo, like, you know, Rand's like living this peaceful, like little countryside. I'm like, where are you finding these resources for this house? Like, what is this? This seems like paradise, like literally. So I was like, oh, whatever.
How would you grade this series overall, season 1?
Overall, I would probably grade it like probably like an 8 out of 10. Like, I thought it was. Don't sneak up on Perrin. But I would give this I would give this season a solid 8 out of 10. Like they had a lot of interesting stuff. I feel like it's definitely trying to be its own thing. You know, anytime there's like a fantasy medieval show out, it's like, oh, this is like Game of Thrones. And it's like, well, there's been other medieval shows prior to Game of Thrones. And I hope people realize that. I don't know if they know that or not. Like, it's Game of Thrones is not, it's a granddaddy now for sure. You know, but it's kind of hard to not make those comparisons because it was such a phenomenon, you know, regardless of, but it seems that with every big show, they always have crappy endings. Like every single big show out, besides Breaking Bad. I feel like a lot of big shows out there either don't know when to stop, or when they do stop, it's like and like I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, because it is really hard to like address everything and wrap everything up in the nice little neat little bow, especially for one season of Wheel of Time. But I feel like it should at least. I mean, the big question of the episode of the season was, who was the Dragon Reborn? And we got that. And now it's like, okay, now we're going to give you this big battle. And it's like, but I don't know or care about any of these characters. It's like the Matrix Revelations. It was like a 40-minute battle for Zion that I did not care about. I just sit there during my rewatch and I'm like, I don't know any of these characters. I don't care about any of these characters. So why do I care if any of these characters die?
That's how the finale did with that one city. Like they were literally there. You got what, like 10 minutes of screen time. And why would I care if these, like this brother and sister live or die? I don't care. That's like, there's just no emotional stakes.
There was, except for 90.
That was well done. Tyler goes, I wonder if they'll address in the show why Matt will look different. Yeah. So he's clearly heading back to Tar Valon. But he looks dark again. Like, why is he dark? The dark magic has already been taken.
Unless he took the dagger again.
Maybe. All right, I didn't think of that.
Because
or maybe he's just innately dark. I don't know. Again, that's part of the fact that he just.
I hope he gets one that resembles him a little bit, because if he looks completely.
Yeah, well, we know he's going to be recast in the next season.
It's like when they recasted the Oracle. It's like, okay, you know, I'm too unfortunate, you know, of the original Oracle's passing, but that's different than like this be like One Piece. It'll never have a bet. I think if it never ends. That's true. You can never have a bad season finale if your show never ends.
Did you? I will say, did you see the hint that like when you had during the climax scene where all the Eyes to Die are together and it made like a star?
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know.
Notice that like when they were channeling, it showed like from 90 to the rest of them, like her channel stream was brighter and like
Really
bold.
I didn't notice
like the other ones that we didn't really know about. Like it showed that they were channeling, but it had more of a weak link. Because when they were linking up, when 90 links up, that the lady in the gold arm or whatever in the middle, she like kind of looks at her like, holy crap, like your power is like exponential kind of thing. But if you go back and notice like the star, like it shows a star, but from 90 and the other girl, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on her name. What's up?
Egwin.
Yeah, they had like the brighter, bolder stream of channeling, and then it kind of the other ones look more weaker in a way. That's what I noticed at least. So I was like, oh, that's a nice little inkling to show how strong they are in touch with channeling.
That's really cool. I did not notice that. But I was like, I go back to our power rankings when we're, hopefully we'll have like all 5 of the Dragon Reborns potentially. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe together, and that's kind of like that Encanto moment where like they're stronger together and they have to come together. All right, I'm probably
no, you're fine.
I give it like probably an 8.2 out of 10. I'm telling you, man, this was like a strong 9 out of 10 for me. Had the finale like really stuck the landing.
I agree.
It really dropped the ball. There's no question.
I'm glad people are tuning into this. Like I was very surprised that I didn't think Wheel of Time was actually going to get the eyes that people are watching it with. So
I like the 4 powers together. The side effects are not so fun,
bro. They were being burnt to a crisp, like bacon on a sidewalk. I was like,
just getting ready for that dance off or something like that.
Exactly.
All right. So that is our season finale review of the Wheel of Time. Christian, any final thoughts and plugs before we wrap this thing up?
Just wanted to thank you so much. Excuse me, man. My voice has been killing me all weekend. I just want to thank you so much for inviting me on for this journey of Wheel of Time, and you approached me about it, and I heard about it, and I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I'll like watch it or not. And then I started watching it, and it turned out to be a very decent like first season. And just want to thank you so much for having me on. And of course, everyone out there, if you have been following us along with this journey, I do run a podcast called Film Optics. That is Optics with an X. It's a weekly podcast presenting critics and non-critics a glance into comic book movies, indies, blockbusters, films, and everything in between. And so, man, I cannot talk today. You can find our podcasts on podcast platforms around the internet. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, Facebook. I know, Facebook, crazy stuff. And pretty much anywhere you can listen to your podcasts. We just finished. We actually just released our Matrix Resurrection review today, and we kind of closed out on our franchise revisited of the original Matrix trilogy. And so definitely check those out. And if you're a big Harry Potter fan like myself, we did do a movie series review on all of the movies. So that was a lot of fun, a big passion project of my own. And we have one more episode we actually just finished recording earlier today. That'll be dropping this week, probably on Wednesday. And that's our Don't Look Up review. So that'll be our last one of the year. And we're going to be taking like a 2-week break. Going to be coming back on the week of January 13th, which is the weekend of Scream 5. So that's a lot of fun. And so, that's pretty much it, man. I know Book of Boba Fett's going to be starting this week too, but we actually decided to wait until the season finale to record that because, as much as we do love, bringing content to people, as much as you guys love bringing content to people, and I'm pretty sure Tyler can attest to this as well. you just need a break every once in a while, kind of just get away from it all for a little bit, kind of re-strategize and just have a bit of a breather. I think having breaks in between definitely help clear the headspace, and you won't get burnt out. So that's a very, very important thing. So yeah, definitely follow Film Optics on Twitter and Instagram. Again, that's Optics with an X. And you can follow my personal Twitter page at Music City Nerd. But yeah, Film Optics should be down below where my name is. So yeah, just look us up on there.
Please give my man a follow and check out his podcast at Film Optics. Amazing content. Christian, this has been so much fun. As huge Lord of the Rings fans, like it's been just a blast to like kind of just jokingly go back and forth. I am not going to read the books. I'm going to stay away from Google. I'm going to react.
There's always the audio versions. Audible.
Nah,
always your friend.
No. I'm going to react. Or you could read them, and then we could have like a whole like non-spoiler book take.
I just wish I had the time. There's never enough time in the day, dude. There's so many books I want to like reread and like other things I really want to read, and it's like I don't have time. It sucks.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. we all kind of wish we had our own wheel of time.
Seriously.
It'd be nice.
I need like 36-hour days.
All right. So thank you everyone for watching. Anyone who has watched our reviews, anyone who has commented on our reviews, there was a lot of love with these episodes. So I just want to again say thank you. Not to just the viewers, but to my man Christian as well. Follow us on Twitter at the Suit Up Geeks. If you love this video, if you love the Wheel of Time, please be sure to give this video a like as well. So for Christian, for myself, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.